proclaimed in the whole world. Footnote 1 from Matthew chapter 26, verse 8, in the Recovery Version of the New Testament says, "Throughout the past 20 centuries, thousands of precious lives, heart treasures, high positions, and golden futures have been wasted upon the Lord Jesus. To those who love him in such a way, he is altogether lovely and worthy of their offering. What they have poured upon him is not a waste, but a fragrant testimony of his sweetness." For two weak sisters, the thought of evangelizing the vast land of China seemed but a distant dream. But they soon realized that God would raise up young people from among the Chinese population for his own sake. For this, they were willing to bury themselves as seeds in the ministry of prayer for 10 long years. God finally answered their prayers. During the 10th year of their seemingly fruitless labor, a revival broke out in Fuqiao. Among those raised up at that time were Leland Wang, K.H. Wei, Faithful Luke, Wilson Wang, and many other young brothers and sisters. These would frequently go to Miss Barber to receive training and spiritual instruction. To meet the many spiritual needs, Miss Barber prepared a group of houses around her residence for the purpose of hospitality. She would conduct training classes in some of these houses, but it was the private fellowship and long personal talks that became the greatest edification and perfecting for one particular young seeker named Watchman Nee. Whenever he had a problem or needed spiritual instruction or strengthening, he would go to M.E. Barber. She treated him as a young learner and frequently administered strict discipline.
We had a co-workers meeting every Friday, in which the other 5 were forced to listen to the arguing between the 2 of us. After having a dispute on Friday, I would go to Sister Barber on Saturday and accuse the other co-worker.
Whether that co-worker is wrong or not is another matter. While you are accusing your brother before me, are you like one who is bearing the cross? Are you like a lamb?
When she questioned me in this way, I felt very ashamed, and I could never forget it. My speech and my attitude that day revealed that I was indeed not like one bearing the cross, not like the lamb.
Everything about Miss Barber bore a touch of the Lord's presence. Watchman Nee often told of a time when he went to visit her in her home. Even while waiting for her in her living room, he had a deep sense of the Lord's presence. In one of her papers, she had written,
"I want nothing for myself. I want everything for the Lord."
This was her prayer to the Lord. Later, Watchman Nee adopted this impressive prayer as his motto. Day by day, Miss Barber anticipated the Lord's return. On the last day of 1925, as she and Watchman Nee were praying together, she prayed,
"Lord, will you really let the year 1925 pass away? Although it is the last day of the year, I still ask you, Lord, to come today."
Sometime later, as the 2 of them walked together, they neared a corner. She said,
"Perhaps as we turn the corner we will meet him."
To her, the Lord's return was not a doctrine, but a living hope which governed her work and living. Quietly, in the remote village of Bayatan, a different kind of missionary and pioneer was slowly charting the course of another field, the field of life and resurrection in the divine and mystical realm. The daily beautiful vista of these little boats along the Min River would likely have given her the inspiration to write about the even more beautiful and serene life of faith which she now possessed.
A hymn, like milk and honey, is the outflow of a life that has learned lessons and is dealt with. This cannot happen in one day and one night.
After living a hidden life in that remote corner of the world for 20 years, at the end of February 1930, she contracted enteritis, a disease of the intestines today commonly known as Crohn's disease. Within a short time, she concluded her 63 years of earthly pilgrimage. It is said that before she departed, she was shouting, "Life, life." In a package of personal belongings which was given to Watchman Nee upon her death was a note which said,
Dear Lord, I thank you, because you have a commandment saying, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind.